Alright, man. Peace. We're finally all the way fully recovered. Allergies are kicking my ass as this weather keeps changing. But we'll never stop this grind. Welcome to this Taboo Thursday. May 1st, 2025, episode 278 of the D-Lo Show. We got new classes in here. We have new objectives to accomplish. And we have more playoffs to come around too. As we have one team that's trying to go to the next round. Well, two teams that are trying to go to the next round. And two teams that are trying to stave off elimination. The one, the 7:30 special, was able to survive for one more game. As the Rockets, Danner led wire to wire. It was similar to game 2. Minus Jimmy not getting hurt. And the only difference is somebody did get out this game, but it was Pat Spencer who headbutted Alperen Sengun. And Trey Jackson Davis pushed him away so we can he made it sell. He sold it. It was a 2-on-1 handicap headbutt affair. Headbutt push special. But I liked it. Good. Okay. But the Rockets win this one 131-116. They shot a blistering 55% from the field, 13-30, 43% from Curry, and got to the line 38 times, 32 and 38. Damn. And their stars was going in. Fred VanVleet led the scoring, 26 points. He was very efficient, 8 of 13 from the field, 4 assists from Curry, perfect in the line, 6 for 6. Amen Thompson, 25.6 boards, 5 steals, 3 blocks. Damn. Dylan Brooks, 24 points. So very efficient, 7 of 13 shooting, and perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Nice. Sengun, 15-9-9, almost had a triple-double, 2 steals and 2 blocks. And Jalen Green, he struggled. He had 11 points, 8 boards. You got to make sure to get on the glass if you ain't going to score. And they really just dominated for real from this one. Once they got hot, they just couldn't miss. They was unconscious, as they say. As for the Warriors, it was not a good shooting night for them. 41%, but shot 68 from the line. That's not going to work. But the Warriors pulled the plug early because it was down 30 in the third quarter. So it was all right, let's bring in the bench guys. And they got to within 13, which I was like, they ain't going to do nothing with it. But hey, it is what it is. The Rockets pulled away and eventually won by 15. So I wasn't worried. Moses Moody, though, 25 points, 9 boards, 2 steals in the block. Got extended the burn and made that up in 26 minutes. Nice. Kevin Knox, we ain't see him in a while. 14 points off the bench with a block, 4 boards. Shot crazy as he always does. Pat Spencer before he got into some trouble. Had 11 points and a steal, 4 boards. And Steph Curry's the only starter in double figures with 13 and 7 assists. Hey, at least he got his. But Jimmy didn't get his, though. He shot 2 of 10. But they going back to Golden State. Will it be just like they did to Memphis? It felt like a little of that, too, that Memphis game. But it wasn't as ugly. It could have been, but it wasn't that ugly. It wasn't whooping thine trick and all that stuff. So Rockets, they survive, and they go to see if they can get a steal one in San Francisco. Can't go to Oakland no more. Yeah, they can't go to Oakland. Oakland really got shafted the last 5 years. Real shit. Well, last 15 years. Let's be serious. The Raiders left. The A's left. The Warriors left. Damn, that's crazy. That's wild. That's nasty as worse. But as nasty as works is Minnesota. They going to Los Angeles and take the Lakers out in Los Angeles. They control this thing from the get-go. The Lakers played small. Rudy Gobert was looking like Wilt Malone out this bitch. Freaking Moses Chamberlain. Like, what the heck? 27 points, 23 rebounds. What the heck? And then added in 2 blocks. Well, 24 rebounds. 24. Had 9 offensive rebounds. Damn. Well, what? Yo, who would have thought Rudy Gobert will be the one that will send home L.A.? I would not have that. But he took advantage of the Lakers. They didn't play no centers. They didn't play Jackson Hayes. It's like, we're not playing Jackson Hayes because he's unplayable. Well, he just proved that he is playable because his adversary dropped 24 rebounds and had 9 offensive. You know, he could have been able to prevent at least half. More than half. He could have, because the last game, let's see what Rudy had last game. He had, before that, he had 11 points. And, damn it, I hate that crap. Man, I hate that. He had 10 rebounds. Okay, and the next game he had 24. So he doubled his rebound total and added 2. So he had 2 touchdowns. But like, then he had 6. He had 3 rebounds. He had 6 twice in game 1 and game 2. So it wasn't like he was doing anything down it and then he just come out explode because you didn't play it big. Maybe if you look at the scouting report, even though y'all were standing with him, he was not going in on the rebounding tip. He wasn't dominating. I didn't get it. But anyway. Either way, he was the dominant force. And then he was one of the ones that was keeping it in because Ant was struggling. Jamin Downs got in foul trouble and fouled out. Julius got in foul trouble in the first half. Eventually, he closed that fourth quarter. It was Julius that closed that fourth quarter. He had like 12 of his 23 in the fourth quarter. He was going in that quarter. So once he got hot in his zone, they rolled him down the rest of the way and hit a couple shots, couple lay-ins, got a couple big steals. He had 15 points, 11 boards, 8 assists, 3 steals. Yeah, it was just Alexander Walker. He was big off the bench. He gave him 10. He shot. You know, the thing that pissed me off with Minnesota is they should have blown him out. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They should have blown him out. But they kept fucking hoisting up Curry bombs. And was getting double teamed at the top of the key. And you had a man like Lumen in the high post. They kept gunning to him, and then that's how Rudy was getting his easy opportunities. They have a 2-on-1 advantage, and you Rudy just use his size and go over the top. That's how they was killing them. It was killing them in the paint, like that way. But the fucking thing that kept pissing you off is they kept hoisting fucking Currys. They was 7 for 47. 7 for 47. Every time they kept shooting, I just kept getting angry. I'm like, yo, you're lucky I am not a coach, because I'd have been like, why the fuck are y'all shooting these fucking Curry bombs? And you got the man, you got no centers down there. I've been going ham. He got no fucking big man down there drowning their fucking throats. Bro, that shit just kept blowing my mind. Listen to these numbers. And 0 for 11. DiVincenzo, 2 of 12. Alexander Walker, 2 for 9. Jeez Louise. Rudy was the only one that did not shoot a 3. He's the only one. And that's only because he doesn't really shoot. Trust me, if he was shooting Curry bombs, he'd be hoisting up 3 of these joints. At least 3. That part just kept mind-boggling me the whole game. I'm like, y'all have the advantage to go inside. Y'all have the rebound numbers 54 to 37. And you still try to shoot Curry's. That's the only reason why the Lakers got back in the game. Because it kept hoisting them. And I'm like, yo, stop fucking shooting them. Fucking drive. And Julius calmed their asses down and drove into the win. As for the Lakers, what an interesting season they had. From having AD there to not having a whole Luka. Like, what a switch around that is. He led the way, and he's a hot mess. He's a hot mess, let's say that. He led the way, 28 points, 9 assists, 7 boards, and steal. But he was going through a lot this one. It was right near the end of the first half. He was driving the lane. DiVincenzo fouled him. He's like, oh! And I think Rudy fouled him. Rudy's in there too. He tried to contest as well. But he goes down and it's like on his knees, like as he's going down. I was like, ugh, what the hell going on there? And then he's holding his back. I thought he twisted his ankle, but he was holding his back. He was like, oh, my back. He bucked the 2 free throws, but he had to go out. And he was labored the rest of the game, but he still was going in the rest of the game. But yeah, and they just kept attacking it. He just kept attacking. It's like, yeah, you injured? Attack. A freaking attack. So yeah, it was just Ruby. He was the one clear, consistent positive for the team. He had 23 points in a block, 4 boards, 9 of 16 from the field, 5 of 8 from Curry. He was the one that was bringing them back, or keeping them in the game, because it wasn't like the Lakers getting blown out. The largest lead was, I think, like 14 and 16. That was like the highest they ever got. But the Lakers came all the way back, took a little lead in the third, like in the big third. Daily Fantasy started hit a Curry bomb to get them in the lead for a quick second, and they had another big lead, but it was only one. I think 81 to 80. But outside of that, they didn't really lead at all to a point where you was like, okay, I think the Lakers can stand and take advantage of this one. It was just all Minnesota. And then Bron James, oh boy, we'll talk about Reeves in a second too, but LeBron James, you had 22 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals. He was quiet in the fourth quarter again, but he did make a noise in the falling category, the flopping category. Cause bruh, yo, in live time, when he went down and him and Julius collided, I was like, damn, Bron down. This can't be how it goes down. This can't be how it goes down. They show the replay, see the collide, they bump knees. I was like, damn. I know that had to hurt, but I'm like, he be alright. He back in 5 minutes. And then I think like a couple minutes later in the game, clock was, I think it was like at an 8-minute mark when this happened. 2 minutes later in the game, like 6 minutes left, he's back in. I'm like, where the fuck he spawned from? What the hell? I was like, bruh. What the hell, yo? That shit tripped me out, yo. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed. And I saw it again this morning, I laughed. I was like, let's freaking laugh. I just laughed because I was like, bruh, he got shot right there. I understand. It just was funny. It just took me out because I was like, bruh, he really act like he got shot. But it was funny. Lays gonna have to make some sacrifices. Starting with this guy right here. You need to make sacrifices to the Dolores. Because y'all gonna need some big men. And if Luka want that $300 million, and Bron, you a billionaire. You got plenty of moolah. You got plenty. I know you probably got to keep up with the bills and the expenses, because it's probably expensive as fucking that house. I know them bills is expensive. Knowing y'all shit. So I don't understand. I understand. But you gotta take a little pay cut, fam. If y'all want to get some big men that's solid, that's going to be good contributors, and be a part of this rotation, especially during these critical times in the postseason, you need to take a little bit of pay cut. The greats have done it before. Now, in various different sports. I know some of you are like, fuck that, you need to get your paper. But I'm like, I mean, if you really want to get the championship, you might have to take a little bit of sacrifice. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. Like, what do you make? 50 million? This nigga make 50 million a year. Man, you can't get that at 35? 30? Come on. You can't get that on 35? Cold Haiti? You need at least that. At least a solid center. If you want to be, an athletic one, or one that can be mobile, can create for himself on the low, you can be at least about 10 to 15 million. You cut that down. But, well, I know, I'm just some black guy. But either way, Bron, this next season has to be your last season. I'm sorry. Because people are really shitting on him, like, to the point where they have new ammunition every day. And it's getting to the point, it's like, Bron, we have new guys now. We have Anthony Edwards. We have SGA. We have Luka, your teammate. We have Jokic. We have Giannis. We have plenty of guys that are going in their primes right now. They're having NBA historic MVP type level seasons and careers right now. It is time. It is time, Bron, to hang it up. I love you, Bron. You're one of my top favorite players of all time. You're my top 5 favorite players. But it's time. It is time. There's no Ben Simmons. Colin Cowherd was way off of that. I knew he was going to be way off of that too. But please, that's another conversation. But Bron, it is time. Let next year be your last year, your 2030 season, and max your jersey number. I wouldn't mind that. But it's time. Let him have his big retirement tour. But it is time. It's time to go, bro. As saying this as a fan of you, who was a hater of you, who first loved you, and you came back around. Please, it is time. It is time, brother. I don't want to old yeller you. This is not old yeller. I want to put you down in the ground in a respectful manner. Because you're one of the all-time greats of all time. I want to put you down in a good way. I want you to walk out smoothly. I want you to. I don't want you to go out bad. I don't. And it's kind of looking bad right now. So, please, let this be the last season. 23 to add your number jersey. Please. I already had you not winning championships like 2 years ago. I already had to get rid of that fate. Please. Please. Just. It's time. It's time, brother. It's time. And the last Laker that was in double figures was Austin Reeves, who has inherited one of the flopping games. Because that foul Alexander Walker was crazy. Because they was battling for the screen. LeBron was about to set a screen for Reeves. And they collided. But Alexander hit more Braun. And then and it was like a weird collision. It didn't even look like he collided with him, but more like in like the shoulder area. But Reeves, knocked his head back, so great as hell. I was like, in the real time, I thought it was a foul. And then once they went back to replay, even the announcers were shocked. It was like, what the heck? How was that a foul? Like, where's the foul? And I was going to say, like, where's the foul at? I was like, oh my God, you hit Bron's shoulder and I was like, how you That's crazy work. I was like, that's crazy work. Nasty work. That was nasty work. But I was like, bruh. Yeah. And he shot 2 of 10. They scapegoating him all over Twitter, too. So, this game really did piss me off, bro. There was 40. Bro, Minnesota shot 47 threes. LA shot 37. Both teams shot a combined 18 for 84. I don't feel like doing math because that percentage is harder for me. But, I mean, let's do this. Let's just Google this percentage. 21%. You gotta be fucking kidding me. 21.43%. Let's see, you want to read the numbers. 21% is what you can muster up. Que paso. Let's move on. I'll get the Lakers a B-, and I'll get the rest of their review when I feel getting reviews for everybody else. So, hola, mi amigo. Let's move to the next one. All right, we got two very imperative game 6s. Both teams that are hosting are in the losing predicament, but they're in different ways. The Knicks go back to Detroit basketball. After taking 2 in a row from them, 3 and 4, they lost game 5 at home on Tuesday, 106-103. No Jeezy. So they had to go back to Detroit and do it all over again. You know what's funny? I had Knicks in 6, so everything kind of falling into place. So Knicks, I got y'all winning tonight. I got y'all winning. Now, if y'all don't, the pressure is going to be on y'all immensely. I think Spike might have to go back to rinks, go at courtside again. So I think you might see Spike Lee there. But if y'all don't win on Saturday night, that Saturday afternoon special is going to be hitting like water. And y'all got to play Monday after that. So y'all might want to get this one out the way now. So y'all ain't got to play Saturday. So get it out the way now. I'm going to Knicks. Nuggets and Clippers. They are in LA, the Intuit Dome. I like them when they play their music and stuff. They be jamming in that bitch. But the Clippers, they was up 2-1. They lost that heartbreaking game-winning dunk by Aaron Gordon in Game 4 at home. Then they went to Denver. They was just in that scoring session, and they could not contain Jamal Murray or Russ, and they just could not stop a nosebleed, basically. And it was in a high-scoring affair, and they couldn't catch up. So, this game has to really, I really got to pay James Harden, because you have been MIA the last couple games. You had that great game 3, and then you've been MIA ever since. And you've been shooting like ass. And you ain't been aggressive. You just being like how you want it. You just want to take a little off the side. I'm like, bro, man, shave his head bald. I'm like, bro, he only took 9 shots last game. I'm like, bro, that's not the James Harden I know. The James Harden we know shade you to how you want it and hit you with a step back triple and give you more than at least 9 shots. We know this, man. We need that. We need the old Harden back, as we like to say. We need the old Harden, the Harden that didn't give a damn. And then in game 4, you only shot 11 times, so you only shot 20 times the last 2 games. When have you heard James Harden shoot less than 20 times in a 2-game span? Not counting his OKC days. No, exactly. It's not there. So, Get on your shit hard. They need you for this one. You're imperative to win this one. If y'all don't, well, you don't. Well, you can stay in LA and just relax. I said this one's going to 7, so I'm going to Clippers. Kawhi, you wanted to go in too, cause you been doing your thing, but you need another signature Kawhi performance. So I know you had one already, it was in game 2, but we need one more, especially for the home fans. So yeah, so they're gonna be the ones targeted, and the Nuggets, if they can just keep doing what they doing and get better on their defense, I think they can roll out of the LA Center with a W. And be smart in your selections. So do that. So we will see what happens. On Friday is Warriors and Rockets, ESPN. I am going to lead toward the Warriors in this one. I think they can get it done. I think they'll be the second 7 seed, because I think the Lakers did it 2-3 years ago. Yeah, when Darvin Ham was the rookie coach. Yeah, when he was in his rookie year coaching. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors. So they be the second team this decade to do it. Just thought about that. So I'm gonna go the Warriors in this one. And let's hope that the Knickerbockers and the Knickerbockers finish their business. And for Game 7, if there is one, I'm going with the Nuggets. I think they can pull it out in Game 7. I know their Game 7 history is a little bit shoddy, but if there's one thing that gives Denver an advantage, that damn altitude. There's no joke. So, and they might want to run it up and run it down their throats. So do that, and you can get a W. Go with them. All right. We got a lot of this week was very interesting in terms of the draft. And the big thing that was all around was, of course, the no one pick, but Shedeur Sanders, the son of primetime Deion Sanders. We know him. Legendary. One of the best corners of all time. Coach of Colorado, we know him. Shedeur was looked at as a guy that could be a good corner for your team. And he's looked at as the first round pick. I'm alright, you can see that. We talked about in the last one that he's does in the first round pick. I was like, okay, maybe it could be a second or third. Second or third, we can do that. Like you can list off a few teams that could acquire him to use the services. Even though I didn't like it, the Steelers could have been using him. They could have drafted him, but I didn't want to, but it's whatever. I was like, all right, but they didn't do it. They're not far from where they drafted. So after Friday, he didn't get drafted. I was like, well, damn. Oh, well. Something else was happening, because I was like, man, he must have done something horrible in the interviews. That was just in my head. Like, he must have done something that during the pre-selection process got people thinking, I don't know about this guy, Chico. That's the one of the first plays that popped in my head. That's one of the first things. Until he was drafted in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns. Yay. You know, they drafted a quarterback before, Dylan Gabriel, which is freaking hilarious. Okay. But, yeah. But he is now a Cleveland Brown. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. And people are now, since we can't have a diversified thinking of speech, we gotta have everybody think the same. People gotta bringing out this racism with Shedeur. And I'm like, Racism. What? I don't know about this. First of all, coming in this draft, the QB market was not that very deep. Like, there was only a handful of teams that's where you look at the teams. That's where you're going to look at QBs. 80% of the teams got their QB. 15% already got or have a guy that's in there that they just got recently that they're kind of like, all right, we're figuring him out. And the other 5 are guys that are looking or got someone that or got a collection of guys that they're going to use for now and wait till next year. Either one of those options. So let's go through these teams. Let's go through the NFL. Roster-wise, let's look through. Let's start in Maryland. You're not coming to Maryland, Shador. I'm sorry, you're not. You already got everybody. But we already got it. And then people kept bringing up Arch Manning back then. And I think that wasn't. I was not watching football. I was also Nickelodeon shit. I was a young boy still. So, but when I looked it up, people was mad. Especially Chargers fans was really mad because they wanted to look at Eli Manning. And 04 was the year where Eli, Phil Rivers, Ben, those 3 QBs came in, and that QB class is notable. And there were a lot of teams looking for QBs that year. Let's keep looking. Patriots, they just got their guy, Drake May. Look to see what he can do for them. Let's go east. Let's go east. The Bills, they got Josh Allen. They're Gucci. He just won MVP. That should be Lamar's, but I'll let it slide. I like Josh too. And why are Ravens fans trying to get a vibe with the Bills? I like both. What the fuck? But whatever. I like both QBs. Either way, the Jets, they could have been an option. It could have had some competition between him and Justin Fields. In New York City, that would have been a nice little circus up there. And I forget one last in the team, the Dolphins. I would have had it on the back. That would have been my sleeper. Only if Tua was hurt still, or if he was in like some peril. If he was not looking good, then I would have seen them getting Shador. Let's go, keep going. Let's go to the South. The Jaguars got Trevor Lawrence, so he ain't going there. Test got CJ Stroud. You're not going there. The Colts could have been a decision, but they're in that 15% of they got a young quarterback. They're like, we still want to see if he got something in him. If not, they're gonna let him go. Then the one team that could have been a good one, the Titans. But from what I've seen in reports and what I've read, he ain't want to go with Tennessee, which, could you blame him? I mean, it is Tennessee, I understand. But that could have been a spot where you could have been able to, compete for the job. All you had to do was go against Will Levis. I think Mason Rudolph left. He went back to Pittsburgh. You ain't got to worry about him. He was a star before. He was a star at the end of the season. So he ain't got much to do with competition-wise. That could have been your guy. But, you want to dictate where you need to go? Hey, what happens. Hey. Is it racism? Nah. It's the QB market, B. The QB market ain't that deep. If it was deeper, there's like at least 7 teams that are looking for quarterbacks. Maybe not. At least 8. At least a quarter of the league are looking for quarterbacks. Then you would have been a little bit better. There are only like 5 teams looking for quarterbacks, really, this draft. 5. Let's keep going. Tennessee was one of them. Well, shit. Let's go out west. You definitely not going to Kansas City. They got Pat. You got the best QB. Herbert and San Diego. Hell no. I still call San Diego. Hell no. You not starting over Herbert. I got my homies on Herbert. He's got a fucking cannon. Not starting with him. The Broncos, they just got Bo Nix, and they believe in Bo, and I believe too. So you not going to Denver. Now the Raiders, they could have been a consideration. Now, I think that was one of the few teams that they really wanted to go to. Now I think that would have been perfect for him because you had Geno there, you got JT there. They drafted the 6th pick, and you can learn from Geno a little bit. You can learn from a veteran that came from being perceived as a bust or had high expectations, and then don't live up to him, and then turn it around and come back and redeem himself. That'd have been perfect. That'd have been a good spot. But they went another route. And in this route, and drafted the quarterback after Shedeur got drafted. That's funny. That's a little funny. That's funny. But ew, it is. All right, where we in the North, we need to go. The Seals could have been an opportunity. I already said my Ravens. We good. The Bengals are good. They got Burrow. He's cool. The Browns have the most interesting QB room I've ever seen. We'll get back to that at the end, but right to that. Let's go to the AFC side. We went through the whole AFC. The East. Giants could have been consideration. They could have had him at number 3, but Abdul Carter. But they traded in the draft, and this is the one that really got people in a tizzy and had people really thinking racism. Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. They traded up to get him because they didn't have it. They already drafted him early in the 3rd pick. They needed to get somebody and said, you know what? We need to get this guy right here. They compared to Bo Nix. He's a little short, but he's 6'1", he's a little 6 foot. But he's like a mobile quarterback. But they think he could be the answer to their problems. And this is where people was thinking, this is where Shedeur could have gone. I'll leave that too. But hey, if you're adaptable, look at their roster. They got Russ and Jameis Winston. You got to go through a lot to win that job. You're going to have to, be so precise that it's not even a joke. Because you got a Super Bowl winning eventual Hall of Fame quarterback Russ, who people try to play with. And you got Jameis, who won the Heisman and was a number 1 overall pick. And had one of the weirdest careers ever. He's kind of out of the generation's George Blanda, minus the punting ability. Minus that. And we ain't seen James punt yet. You know how to sit them crab legs, though, and went at it. We know how to get it. Either way, this could have been a spot, but adaptability comes to question. And will Shedeur be adaptable to sit behind 2 experienced guys, or will he, I don't think he would have, but you never know. Some people had those thoughts. The Eagles got Jalen Hurts. You're not starting over Jalen Hurts. Let's be serious. Same with Dallas. They got Dak. It would have been interesting, though. But Dak just got paid. Even though I've been seeing a lot of trade talks with them, it ain't no damn sense. If they didn't pay him, then I would have probably seen what you were talking about. But they already paid him. I'm like, they're not going to trade him unless he does something like Deshaun-like rate, which is egregious. Unless he does something rapey. They wasn't going to do nothing. The Cowboys, we already said them. And the Commanders, they got Jaden Daniels. You're not starting with Jaden. And they're trying to build to get Jaden Daniels. So anyway, there's that. Let's go to the South. Tampa Bay, they got playmaker Baker, and they want to build around him more. So you're not going there. The Saints could have been an option. Not going to lie, because their QB room looks a hot mess as well. And for what I've seen by the reports of Derek Carr, what I've got from my sources and information, it seemed like he done for the season. He may need to get another shoulder surgery, and it's gonna be taking longer to come back. So, oh boy, that could be an opportunity. He could compete for Spencer Rattler, and a few other. Let me see what they got in the draft, because I know they got at least something they can say. I guess they got Fegan too. Tyler Shaw. This is the other one that people was like really like. You could have had Shador right here instead of Shaw. Well, there's a thing. Adaptability. What if he lost a job? Could he cope with it? No, so that's the only thing I can say is adaptability. For what I've heard, adaptability is not in the strong suit. I hope it is, because you're going to have to adapt a lot. Real shit. I mean real shit. I mean serious. And the Falcons, they could have, but they're in that category of 15% where they just got their guy, Michael Penix. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to look for a QB. We don't need a QB right now. So, but yeah, just like that. Let's go to North. Packers got Jordan Love. You know, there's some little questions about him. They're committed to the man. They are fully blooded committed to the brother. The Bears got Caleb. They just got him, so that's a dead. The Lions got Jared Goff. That's dead. And what's the last team in the North? So the Bears, the Pack, the Lions. Oh, Minnesota. That could have been an option, low key, but I think they got Jaden McCarthy, and they're like, let's see how he do. Hey, Ty Felton went to the Minnesota. Hey, just like Diggs, Ty Felton went to Minnesota. We got 6 Terps drafted in this one. 6 Terps drafted in the NFL. This is like a surprise. I was like, wow, we're usually more of like a basketball school, but this time we have been looking at our football program. We've been putting our inventory in that. Putting our resources in there. Good. I love it. Love it. Beautiful. Let's go to the last division, the West Side. Seattle could have been interesting. I'm not gonna lie, because you could have learned from Donald too. It kind of been like the Geno situation, but a few years younger. But you could have been in a seal position ish. 49ers got Brock Purdy, and they're in a conundrum in terms of wanting to do shit. They're definitely a conundrum. And who else in the West? The Rams. The Rams could have been an option too. Have somebody backing up Stafford, and this is where the adaptability play could have come into effect for this team. For the Rams. Could have adapted. Could have learned from stuff and staff for a year or two. Then once you get them on the field, you'll be good. You know, adaptability. Learn from a Super Bowl winning quarterback who had to change environments. You know, who was a man in his city, then had to lead that city. He got traded, but became the man in a new city by winning the title. How to adaptability. And there's one last team in the West. I'm trying to freaking think. Oh, the Cardinals. They're Kyler. You know, he's 50-50 sometimes. 60-40. They believe in him, and they're like, we already paid him, so yeah. So all the options were pretty slim. So I can only make a suggestion for 3 teams to really get him, and 3 teams that could use him, but only for down the line purposes, like a year or 2 or so. He got to be backup. Actually, increased that to 5 for backup. So 3 had a chance, 5 where he had to like really be behind and learn. So there's not a lot. And Shador's a type where if you get him, he's going to be competing for a starting job. You're not just going to have him sit back. So that's why a lot of teams are skeptical, in my opinion, of it. I wanted to break it down because I kept seeing it a lot everywhere, and I'm like, racism? You can't think of anything deeper than that. What about the market? The QB market is pretty tight right now. Everybody in the league got their guys for the most part, except for a handful of teams. And the handful of teams that are unsure, they just got the guy, or they like what he's doing so far and want to see if he can take it to the next level and get them to the next stage in the championship contention. So I don't know. But I need to think a little more instead of just going to the race car all the time, because you use it. If you use it and it's not in the right terms, you're gonna make people look at you like, this is what it is. I don't know. And you're gonna look at me and you wanna do this to motherfuckers on the low end. Well, on the high end, you do. Whew. So, shit. Let's go to the rest of our draft, since we had to go through all that stuff. I wanted to talk about that because it was a lot. Let's go. Let's talk about Malachi Stars. We got a new safety. But we decided to get some size. We need to get some size. And we decided to get some more size. And we got to get a kicker too. And some corners. So, with the second round pick, we drafted Mike Green, who led the football series in sacks with 17. He's from Marshall, so he's from where Rand University placed his flag for a few years. Shout out to him. And he can add some depth. We need some edge rushers, because our edge rushers the last few years, we have Van Noy, who's been killing it. But Owe and Ojabo have been very disappointing. We thought they was going to be good game-wrecking changes, and they've been big. It makes me miss Matthew Judon a lot. And Zadarius Smith and them guys. But he seems quick, and if he can rotate good in the coverage, I think he can rotate nicely. So, let's see how he can do. We stayed south, but we went to LSU for our next pick. He's going to be right tackle. He's 6'5", so he's a big boy. 315, so he's a big boy. We need some offensive tackles, offensive guards. So if he can he may beat Swain's transition to guard. We might move into that. I will not be surprised if that happens. But if he has good footwork and he can do well, I could see potential in this man, because he has the tools. He has the physicals, as they say, the attributes. For the fourth round, we have Teddy Buchanan. Look at him. He transferred from UC Davis to Cal and had a pretty good year. He's in competition for that linebacker spot, because that second linebacker spot is kind of open between the high roll corners, open between Simpson, Harrison. Buchanan can put himself in the conversation so he can break out. So, solid pick. Solid pick. I can deal with that. We went back to the O-line and went to Alabama. We traded this pick. We got it from Tennessee. I forget when. It was a trade for years. Whatever. Either way, we got a big boy. 6'7", Carson Vincent. Offensive tackle from Alabama A&M. Not the U. Not Roll Tide. But the SWAC Pride. Yes, SWAC Pride. Yes, HBCU. He was a 4-year starter there. And he's a big boy, 6'7". That really helps. He's got the height. So let's see if he can learn from Ronnie and those boys. Because he's got talent. He's got the size. So let's see what he can do. 6th round, we got this from 10IC2. And we have a corner this one. His name is Bilal Cone. Wow, I've seen way too many Bilals in the most recently few years. I guess House Party is by inspiration of how all these Bilals have come about. These people had to be made during House Party or have been thought of because of Bilal from House Party. Shout out to Martin Lawrence. But Bilal called for Western Michigan. He's 6'1", 190. Okay, he got some size. He kind of reminds me of Marlon a little bit, but a little bit smaller in terms of weight. Because Marlon like 2s. So solid. Let's see if we can translate. Thank you, 10IC. And we had 8 picks later from the Jets. Thank you, New York. We selected Tyler Loop. He went to Arizona University, a Wildcat. He had the highest field goal percentage at 83.75%. Nice. Good job in this school history. So he got that record. Good for him. And he made a 62-yard field goal against Houston, which is their school record as well. So, okay, he's accomplished. Tucker, you have been replaced, brother. We love you, dummy. We fuss with you. It's time to go, old fella. Just like Bron, it's time to go. It's almost time, brother. You can go back to Cockeysville to get your cock rubbed with your Hall of Fame jacket, brother. I don't know if you... I'll get it. He ain't did no rape shit, right? You ain't rape nobody, right, Tuck? I hope you didn't, because I will untuck everything. If you did that. But Luke, if you get this starting game, you're loop. I mean, that shit gonna be... we gonna be looping all over the city if you start hitting your dance skis like Tuckerlicious. We had 3. Well, damn. Yeah, hella picks in the 6th round. We got our 3rd pick in the 6th round was LeJontay Wester. I thought it was Webster, but it's Wester. Okay, I thought it was a B. It wasn't. So okay, cool. He's from Colorado, just like Travis and Shiloh and Sador too. Shiloh too. But he 5'10", 163. He's a speedster. He said he has I think he had one of the fast combines, like 4.2. So we can use the speed. And we have Lamar Jackson, so we can always use the speed. So I'm with it if y'all with it. I'm cool with it. Can't never have enough receivers, right? You can never have enough receivers. So you see that. I can see him being the punt returner if Tylen still has his job. If doesn't have his job. So next, we got some big boy in the middle. We had a compensatory selection. That's a lot of words to fucking say. Now I don't know what the hell that even means, but I forget what it means. Well, I looked up the word compensatory. It means making up something from a lost pick. Well, thank you for making up for our lost picks, you thievers. Either way, we have a new big fella on the D-line. We need to replace Michael Pierce, and we have a new guy, Aeneas Peebles from Virginia Tech. Okay, 6'1", 282. Okay, he look like a big guy. His hands, he got big hands. Okay, all right. Let's see if he can come over here and. You got big shoulders to fill. You got a few big shoes to fill. We known for our defensive tackles. From Kevin Gray, Kelly Bannon, back in the day. Sam Adams, you know what I'm saying? Haloti Nada, come on. You got big shoes to fill. Big Brandon Williams. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Travis Jones. He can they can rotate together, see how they play alongside each other if needed be, and see how that goes. Good. Need some size. And our last pick from this round, our second compensatory selection. We appreciate that selection. We draft, another corner, Robert Longerbeam. Okay. He led the Big Ten in passes deflected. Nice. I likes that. I likes the words of those things. That was the analytics for you. And had two picks. Nice. And he ran the 4.39 in the 40 dash. So he's a speedster. 5'11", 175, repping Rutgers. So, okay. Well, we're deep in corner, but if you can come up and become a slot guy, or we can pull Humphrey. If you can impress us enough, we can put you on the outside because you were like an outside guy. But we're going to see how it goes. This draft looks pretty solid. We addressing really most of the elements so far. And our last pick, we went back to LSU and we got our third round picks teammate, Garrett Dellinger from LSU. He's offensive guard. He started left guard. And then he started 3 games at left tackle and 1 as a center. Okay. He looks like he can move well. He's 6'4", 325. He's a big boy. I like that. And he look like he can know how to be mobile and boom, run block as well. I likes it. Looks like it can be solid, and I like it. This drafted well. We drafted the things that we need to address. Look for the defensive tackle. We got that. Look for corners. We got those. Look for offensive linemen. We got those. Look for edge rushers. We got one. We got a couple of those. And we got a receiver. No. Let's go. So we addressed most of what we needed to address. I like that. That's the transition we needed from Ozzy to EDC. We need somebody to keep the train flowing and know how to keep a ship straight, even when you change regimes or change in philosophies. And that's the difference between the Ravens and the Orioles. We was doing good. I got off the path because we was doing good. And I tried to get some pitching, and now we're some shit. Luckily, we won last night. The other night, 5-4 against the Yankees yesterday. But at least we ended up positive into the month with a win. I'm very worried about our rotation. It is brutal. Grayson, my word, he's had so many setbacks. I don't even know if you can say, you feel me, we can be going back. I don't know. That trade, I really thought we had the good Rodgers, Trevor Rodgers. What the fuck? That was a trade I did not like. I did not like that trade. We traded up Norby and Kyle Stowers. Now I know they've been there a long time, but damn, we could have got Sandy for that package. We might as well could have got Sandy for that package. Shit, at least Sandy got something for himself. Sheesh. But I'm not liking how rotation's looking. You put I think Morton in the bullpen. I'm like, you need to put Morton and Gibson in the bullpen, but we need somebody to eat these innings up. So we're fucked. We need Suarez to get. We need an injection of some kind of switch up. Anything. Shout out to Funinaki. He's the only man that's really relevant in our rotation. Shout out to him. If it wasn't for him, we would be the worst of all time. Worse than any team from the dead ball era to the pre-home run derby era. I don't care. It's lethargic. It's bad. But, man. Let's move to the positives. At least we won against the Yankees. We took 2 out of 3 from them boys. Wow, that's another delay in Cleveland. They delay again. It was just raining, and then they got out the delay. And they scored 2 runs out the delay. Minnesota does. Tied the game up at 2. And now they're back in a delay. And they had 2 runners on base, too. Damn, 2 out, 2 on, 2 out. That's crazy. Let's see who was the ones that scored. Kyle Manzardo and Johanski Noel got them on the board. Kyle with the RBI single, and Johanski with his second home of the season. Then Christian Vasquez and Carlos Correa both hit line driving singles to center field to get their boys an even contest. And Cantillo's on the bench on the pitching for the Guardians. Joey Cantillo, he's on the mound for them right now. And the Twins, they have the leadoff guy, Eduard Julian. That's an interesting way to spell Edward. Oh, his birthday was just yesterday. So happy belated birthday. I ain't gonna roast your birthday, but that is probably the most interesting way I've seen Edward spelled. I thought I'd seen it all, and now I don't. Next, well, let's see what they're delayed. You have other games in progress. Reds and Cardinals. They're about to go in the bottom of the 8th with the Reds up 8-1, spanking them Cardinals. Jose Trevino hit a 2-run bomb to get them on the board in the bottom of the 2nd. Nolan Arenado gets them their only run for the Cardinals with the RBI single. And the 4th, that's when it got ugly. Gavin Lux gets a force out, gets a run in. Jose Trevino gets a sac fly to make it 4-1. Spencer Steer hits a solo shot in the 6th to make it 5-1. No Elvi Marte and Santiago Espinar gets RBIs for themselves. Santiago gets 2 runners into the plate for his boys, and they're up 8-1 where they at now. And they're good so far. They got man on second base, and who's coming out the bat? TJ Friedel is coming to bat right now. He is 1 for 4. Well, here's Myron McClain now. He just got on base. Good for him. So let's see if he can come around to score. All right. Well, okay, Chicago pitched the shutout against the Brew Crew, 8-0. They're at home. They're now. Oh, they just finished. They just wrapped it up. White Sox win 8-zip. Clean shutout over the Brewers. Nice. Damn it. Come the fuck on. Let's see what they got. There we go. Sean Burke gets his second win of the season. Went 6 strong, 2 hits allowed, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Very good performance for him. And his boys came in with the scoring low. Luis Robert got a star with an RBI single in the 1st, get him on the board. It took a while to the 6th, but Miguel Vargas hits a 3-run bomb to make it 4-zip. Andrew Benintendi draws a bases loaded walk, and they get their 5th run. Then Roberts gets a bases clearing double to make it 8-zip, and that's all they needed there. Let's go. Got a few more games. Got one last game in progress. We got the A's and the Rangers. And the Rangers got 2-1, 2 out on the 2-2 count onto Who is? Oh, well, he just struck out. Oh, Josh Smith just struck out. And their scoring ride was over. Well, Brent Rooker's coming to bat now, but the Rangers still need to get 2 runs. If not, they're going to lose. The A's got their 2 runs in simple plays. RBI singles. That's the easiest way to get an RBI. Well, I mean, sacrifice bunt, but I mean, that means you got to run and you got to place it right. So, varies. But Miguel Andujar got a start in the first, and Jacob Wilson got the second one in the 7th inning to make it 2-0. And the guys, and Jeffrey Springs out there beasting. He went 6 strong, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He only threw 68 pitches. See, it's a new era shit, bro. See, if anybody went to 68 innings, 68 pitches in 6 innings, man, they still be out there. And they pitching the shutout. Unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, the Royals beat the Rays in Tampa 8-2. Nasty is work. They gotta cover all the Tampa Bay the stuff, but Seth Lugo doesn't care about that stuff because he gets his 3rd win of the season. He went 6 strong, 5 hits, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts. Nice. That Puerto Rican senor. And how they got them 8 runs. Yandy Diaz got started for the Rays in the first with a solo shot to get him on the board. Michael Massey ties up with a sac fly in the 4th inning. Then Bobby Witt Jr., he keeps the streak alive. It's a 2-run bomb to make it 3-1. Salvi Vetwork gets him 4-1 with the RBI double. Bobby Witt gets hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, and he gets to run the hard way because he had to go through hell. Then Vinny Pascatino, he's representing the Italians. He makes them proud with a 2-run single to make it 7-1. Then Jonathan Arenado gets the Rays' only other run with the RBI single to make it 7-2. Michael Garcia gets a little extra for the Royals to make it 8-2 with the RBI single as well. Well, 17-15. We will see you guys tomorrow in Baltimore. You know, I see how it just got the role of Stringer Bell on the wire because we are very related. Not me Idris, but Maryland and the UK, British folk. Anyway, next we had the Diamondbacks and the Mets in New York City, and it was the Diamondbacks that won this one 4-2, thanks to Zach Gallen's heroic performance. He went 6 strong and gave 2 hits, 1 earned, 8 Ks, and 3 walks. Nice. And Shelby Miller, we haven't seen him in a while. He's been injured a lot because he had bad shoulder issues. But now as a closer, he gets his first save of the season. Nice. Well, good for him. Good for him. I'm glad he's back. We ain't seen him in a while. The only time we seen him is, his middle relief. But now, good for him. Good for him. So, anyway, let's go to the next one. The scoring was not a little solid. Alec Thomas, he is already seen to get his boys on the board, the Diamondbacks on the board, 1-0. Eugenio Suarez gets a sac fly and make it 2-0 in the 5th. Then Juan Soto gets his boys on the board with a solo shot, make it 2-1. Gerardo Perdomo, solo shot answered back to make it 3-1. Then Soto does it again. Solo shot in the 8th to make it 3-2. But Ten Tabo says, Juanito, I got a solo shot for you too to make it 4-2, and they get the win. Good for him. Next, the last of the games that was early in the day, because they want to be. It's the Cubs, of course, but they in Pittsburgh take on the Pirates. This time they won't have a guy fall out of the stands. Hope that guy's alright, because he took a long fall and he fanned it back first, and that really hurt. So I hope he's alright. He says it's critical but stable, but we'll see. Anyway, the Cubs win this one 8-3, taking care of business. Colin Rea gets his second win of the season with 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Solid effort. Good effort. Alright, and they really did the damage after the 5th inning. Because it was all Pirates. Pirates got a start thanks to Brian Reynolds. He hit a solo shot to make it 1-0 in the first. O'Neal Cruz get an RBI double to make it 2-zip. Then it was a takeover. Dansby Swanson hits a solo shot to get his Cubbies on the board 2-1. Then Kyle Tucker tucks it into the right center field and makes it 2-up. Then Seiya Suzuki hits a solo shot, gets his boys in the lead. Nice. Then he does it again in the 7th to make it 5-2. Brian Reynolds gets the RBI ground out to get it 5-3. Then the Cubs get themselves out of a save situation. I know their closer was pissed. Thanks to Ian Happ with an RBI double and Michael Bush with a 2-run single to make it 8-3. Yeah, that closer. I know the closer's mad. He's like, all right, you got close opportunity, Gucci. Ian Happ gets the RBI double. I'm like, all right, it's cool. We got a 6-3 lead. Good. No score again. Bow. 2 more runs. Like, fuck. I'll be mad shit. I'm a closer. I'll be mad. Like, fuck. Oh, snaps. Raiders got the base. Oh, A's got the bases loaded with nobody out. Oh, snaps. They got Luis Urias is up on the plate now. He got 4 home runs and 6 RBIs. Can he get his boys an extension? Rokas at first, Andujar's at second, and Blade is at first. I was with the reverse row. I kind of want to score-wise, but I don't. The Reds get another run on the board thanks to a good freaking Matt McClain RBI single to make it 9-1. Nice. Good job, TJ. You weren't listening, but you have became a scoring part of the show. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 games that has to go tonight. Let's get through them real quick. Nationals and Phillies, NL East Divisional action. Taiwan Walker. 1-2 to 278, 22 innings and 20 strikeouts. Who the fuck calls him Ty Weezy? I've not listened to any of the Phillies affiliates to know who they'll call him Ty Weezy. And the other side for Nationals is rookie Brad Lord. He's looking for his first career victory. He's 0-3 with a 4.67 ERA, 17 innings so far. It's not going to get bad because you're in Philly. I'm going with the Phillies. Sorry. Red Sox and Blue Jays in Toronto. Jose Berrios. La Maquina, he's 1-1 to 4.24, 34 and 28. Another side for the Red Sox is Tanner Houck. He's 0-2 to 7.58, 29 24. He's still looking for his first victory this season. Can he get it before your birthday? Because your birthday's in a month. Well, 2 months because it's late. I'm going with the Red Sox. You might get your first win today. Next, you have Tigers and Angels in Los Angeles or Anaheim. Fucking Anaheim. Yeah, I've been to Anaheim before too. Ain't hoodish, but it could be if you run down the wrong path or two. You say Kikuchi, you say. 0-4 with a 4.31, 31 and 28 strikeouts. Ghetto, you say. Yes, you're looking ghetto, you say. Detroit trying to get 20 wins, and they had Casey Mize on the mound. Cam action. Yeah, that's my name for him. Cam Action. 4-1 to 2-1-2, 29 innings and 23 strikeouts. Cam Action. You're Alabama all the way. With the Albert ain't from Springville, I'm going to go with the Tigers. Good Lord. I think I found a team that's worse than the White Sox. The Colorado Rockies. They taking on the San Francisco Giants. Justin Verlander trying to get his first win of the season still. He's 0-2 to 4.70 ERA, 30 innings and 28 strikeouts. And for the Rockies, Kyle Freeland. Every time we get on him, F. Stanley. Yeah, you need to F. Stanley your way to get a dome. Fuck. 0-4 to 5.93, 30 innings and 23 strikeouts. Yeah, you need to F. Stanley yourself to a freaking tell them boys to get you a dome. I'm going with the Giants because you need to see two teams get to 20 wins. A's get a run. They sacrifice fly themselves in a run. Thanks to Luis Urias. Wow, I was guessing on the money. I was a real guess. I was before I looked. And Rooker scores, make it 3-0. Now they got man on first and third. Oh, now there's 2 outs. He struck out. Well, can the Rangers limit the damage to just 1 run? Or will they just wither and die? And let it happen some more. Can't let that happen, man. It's 1-0. All right, oh well. Before I go to, I forgot. Let me throw the hockey in there, John. Throw hockey in there, John. Let's throw hockey in here. All right. Oh shit. Cap DC. Bands and make a dance. We took out Montreal, took out one of them Canadian teams, 4-1 at home. Nice job, fellas. What the score at? That is. Okay. Ow. Bands and make a dance. We scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Canadians had 1 in the third as well, but no. Ovi got the score and started with the goal. Make it 1-0. Nice. I love it. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I want to say this person's name right, so I'm going to be Jacob Chaishuran. I don't know. Chaishuran. I'm going with that. He scored the second goal for the Crew for DC. Then TJ Wilson, he gets the third goal for the DC to make it 3-0. 2 minutes into the period. And it was okay. Oh shit. Emil Heineman, who scored the only goal for Montreal. He got him on the board as well, at least. But we had an insurance policy. We needed 4 for the hood, just in case. And it was Brandon Duhane who got the last goal for us and got us to the next round. Yay. In the Battle of Florida, the Panthers win this one 6-3, doubling up their Lightning adversaries, their Florida adversaries. Yeah, we're gonna do it like this. Okay, Florida. They had 6 goals. They had 6 goals, 6 different casts. Alexander Barkov, Sam Bennett, Anton Lundell, E2, Luo Sternin. You all staring at me, huh? Saying I'm joking. Sam Reinhart, got Canadian. Carter Verhage. What the hell? Yeah, see, these names be all multi-syllabalized for no reason. Dog. For Tampa Bay, let's see who they got. Who scored for their team? Gage Goncalves or Goncalves or Kales. Goncalves. Goncalves. Yeah, Goncalves, because it makes sense that way. Calves, calf muscles. Jake Gunsell, he got the one. And Nick Paul. Thank goodness your name is normal. Y'all had a good run until it's done. And then the Blues and the Jets, the last team that was on last night's score. And it was Winnipeg that won this one 5-3 over St. Louis Blues. Kyle Connor got the scoring started with a goal in the first. But Nathan Walker, he had 2 goals in the night. He got the first one to tie the game up at 1. Shoot. Then, oh wow. Nino Niederreiter, he scores the goal for Winnipeg and gets him in the lead. I know that. No way. Nah, B. To start the second period, we had our second goal for St. Louis Blues by Jimmy Snuggerud. He gets the goal to tie the game up again. It's gonna be back and forth. But the second period, they started space out and got away for them. And they had three unanswered goals from the second period, halfway point in the second period, to all the way into the beginning part of the third period, with 3 straight goals by, damn it, these guys have these interesting names: Dylan DeMello, Vladislav Namestnikov, Namestnikov. God damn, that's hard to say that name aloud twice. Try saying that name twice. And Adam Lowry. Yeah, try saying that name 3 times. You might bring on one of the evil demons from Russian folklore. And then Nathan Walker was the last guy that had 2 goals. He like seen some shit. Oh, he from Wales. Yeah, he seen some freaky animals. That's what the hell he's seen over there. Anyway, they have a lot of games on hockey. But we got a lot of closers. 3-2s all over the place. And all the people who have 3-2s are all who have the 3-2 lead. 2 of them have the lead and are home, and 2 of them had the lead and they're on the road. Interesting. The first one, the Toronto Maple Leafs on the road, they are up 3-2 on the Ottawa Senators. Well, I'll change my theory. What I mean in a second. Toronto, they're up 3-2. Can they close out of Ottawa, or they gotta go to Toronto to fill it out? I know Christian Cage is probably like, please close it out. And I will believe you guys. I'm gonna go with Toronto. I probably will regret it. Next, you have Vegas, the Golden Knights, the new kids on the block, take on the Minnesota Wild. You know what? Let's go through it. I'm going with Vegas in this one. Then we have the Dallas Stars taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Dallas up 3-2 themselves. I made an error in my decision. It was actually 4 teams. 3 teams that have 3-2 leads, but they're all on the road, and that's named all 3 of them. But they're hosting they're going to Colorado to take on the Avalanche. Can they defend their cup? I think they won the title last year. I forget. But either way, I'm going Dallas. And last but not least, the Kings and the Oilers. I feel this the 4-5 match. This smells like the 4-5 match right here. I can see how it looks. Like 3-6, 5-4, 2-7, 1-8. I just really just gauged. I was like, damn, this is really the bracket on the west side. Oilers. They are I don't even know. You know what? That's 5-6. That is 4-5. That's a 3-6 match right here. That had switched 2. Okay, 3-6. 1-8, 2-7, 4-5, 3-6. That's what I figured. I don't know. Either way. I'm going to Oilers. Go with my cousin. You know I gotta go with my cousin. We ain't talking in a while, but McDavid, we gotta believe in the family. Am I right? Cause oh yeah, I forget they do that weird shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't get that. But either way, that was kind of right. That was kind of right how I look at the brackets, but they just do 1 through 4 for 3 different spots, which. A little confusing, but they go by Atlantic, Metropolitan, some other stuff, Pacific. Some other shit too. They got their own weird stuff in hockey. But we already have 3 series finished, and the last one that's ended was the Hurricanes and the Devils, and they won this last one 5-4 in a 4-1 gentleman's sweep. Sounds familiar. Toronto's trying to close tonight. And everything is 3-2, actually. Interesting. So let's see if we have some new conclusions. Or no. Till then, I'll come back with wrestling the next day. Because we have a lot to talk about in that wrestling department. Because too much. Either way, be well, stay safe, survive in advance, and let me have this last dance.